Howdy, y'all. So on the next episode of Ricky's Big World, we gonna spill all the tea.
Tom Hanks was a prime example of why I decided to do this, because when it came to, was he in Platoon or Saving Private Ryan? Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I think it was Saving Private Ryan.
He decided to do back-end credits instead. And while everybody else was making, let's say $500,000, he made $40 million.
Back in the pizza world caverns, behind the test ovens, and in reality next to the bathrooms, it's Ricky's Big World.
Hi, this is Ricky with Ricky's Big World for another edition. So, how you doing, Miss Roxanna Jen?
I'm doing great.
So what are you doing?
What?
Why don't you have your microphone lifted up like mine is?
I don't know.
Because you look uncomfortable. She's like,
well, I think if I'm any higher, because I usually wear a hat while filming, similar to you, and I think if I go any higher, I'm gonna hit this light. So I'm kind of like, my head is like tucked between a light and
than they should be, is what the issue is. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
So, what was it that you want to talk about today? Because you were asking me some questions about auditions or whatever it was.
Yeah, I want to know how it's going. I want an update on your film life.
All right, well, I did book a couple of things, but that, unfortunately I can't talk about them because you have to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement.
Fancy.
And there are some movie houses, like Warner Brothers, for example. If you get online, because they had this one guy who actually took a picture of him holding his NDA in front of the gates of Warner Brothers. He went outside the gates thinking he was safe. They have special social media departments that will actually follow you to make sure you don't put anything on social media that you're not supposed to. Once you sign that NDA, you can't even show the NDA.
Wow.
So he was fired.
Yeah, I bet.
He lost his job because of...
That's crazy. I didn't know, you couldn't show the actual NDA.
Now, every studio is going to be different, but with that studio, it just... They're real tight on it. And so, to be honest with the train of thought, it should be, if you sign an NDA, you don't talk about it, you don't show it, you don't do nothing like that.
That's
you
fair.
could be fired from that job.
Yeah.
And you know how hard it is to even get onto a TV show or whatever it is, so
don't risk it.
Don't risk it. Don't mess it up.
Yeah. So we're not going to risk it today.
We're not going to risk it today.
But we can give some other...
I ain't losing my job. So I did get a voiceover role. I still got an audiobook that I'm doing, and I also have which the audiobook's pretty cool because it's I can talk a little bit about that. I play a pope from the year 256 AD. All right, wow. So he's a pope, and in the part that I actually have available to where I can actually show, there's actually I do 3 parts in it. So I did the main pope, I did the visitor who is coming to bring him news, and I did one of the servants in the church on that, and then also produced it because I needed to show them that I could actually do the role and prove myself, and they like that so much they're keeping it in. So that they like my demo so much they're keeping it into the audio.
That's so cool.
So that was pretty cool. But well, I have had some auditions here lately for a few TV shows. Had one audition for a horror movie, and they saw the Intent Unknown trailer, and they were like, "We really like that, and we like the craziness in your look, and so let's talk about auditioning for."
They love the craziness of your look again. So this is like the second time. Isn't that how you got Intent Unknown?
Yes, that's how I got that, and I appreciate you bringing that up.
I just thought I'd remind the audience. You're getting stereotyped.
I get stereotyped with either as a security guard, police officer, detective, or mafia guy.
I could see mafia, but also, I mean, you actually have ties to the mafia, so that makes sense.
Well, yeah, but I mean that ain't got nothing to do with it now. If I could use that towards my career, then we're good.
Yeah, that works though.
This is super good. Hey, so before we go any further, I want to show this though. Look at that. Isn't that delicious? Look,
Yeah, it looks delicious.
this is beer cheese, jalapenos.
I have no idea.
I forgot what the meat was.
This is a new one that, again, so our last episode we tried an item. Oh my gosh. This, just for everybody on YouTube, I'm so sorry. The camera keeps tilting for some reason whenever you move the table. But anyways, last episode we tried a test pizza, and this is very similar to that. It's a test that
It's
we're
got
doing.
a kick to it. That's good.
Yeah. I wonder if there's more in the back.
Philly
I didn't get
cheese,
to try
It's
it.
got Philly meat in it.
Oh, that's what it is. Philly.
And then I think you put a layer of cheese on. Kyle.
Kyle, is there more or no? More. Is there more? Of that pizza, or is it gone? There's one slice left. Could I have it?
Can I have it?
Well, that's very possible. Is it good? I didn't, so
It's not good at all.
just so the audience knows, I didn't get to try it, which is why I wanted to try it. There were 2 slices brought to the table, and I didn't get it.
Why did you call me out like that? That's not cool.
Because it's good. You said it was good.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish that. There. Never happened.
I'm glad it's good, though. It's the beer cheese that I was interested in trying.
I apologize. I mean, that's just against my southern values. I should have given you the first piece.
You know what? You give me so much crap.
I'm so sorry.
No, I love it.
All right.
And this is your podcast. You can eat all the pizza you want.
It's not really. Okay, so whenever you go to sign an NDA, what happens is a lot of times, especially when you have an agent, a lot of times the NDA or the project won't even be brought to you until you sign the NDA first. So you'll have, and this is what's happened with me, I've had my agent actually call me up or message me and say, hey, look here, I've got a project, really big one, that I need you to sign an NDA before I can even present you with what it is. And so I'll get the NDA, 9 times out of 10, it's at least 2 to 3 pages long. And it describes, the hellfire and everything else that's going to happen to you if you say that. So,
The elf.
basically that's it. You will lose your job if you say anything. And so, but it's very interesting because, each one is different, but at the same time, they're basically all the same. One example was Marvel Studios. And so I think I touched on this one time before, I believe, but I got an audition for a Marvel movie. And before I could do anything, I had to sign an NDA before they even showed me the script, showed me anything.
Wow.
And they didn't even tell me who it was. They just said, hey, I've got this major role that we want you to audition for. But before we can even say anything, we need you to sign the NDA. I signed it, sent it back, and all of a sudden they sent me the script. There it was on big on top, Marvel Studios, and here was the role. I about flipped out. I said, you have got to be kidding me. Just to be able to be asked to be a part of a Marvel anything.
Right.
So-
It's such a huge franchise.
Huge.
Huge.
But it's the same way with the Sesame Street one I was telling you
Right,
about.
yeah, I do
So,
remember.
I didn't know what it was, and I almost walked away from it because of that. That's why I
Yeah.
learned early on now, say yes
Yeah, for sure.
to everything. And then see what's going on, and then decide.
That's crazy.
But
So back to audiobook, because we were talking about that before we interrupted everything.
okay, what about it?
What's the process for auditioning? What's the difference between auditioning for like an audiobook versus, an in-person role? Is there a difference?
There are actually differences. So yes, they vary. Now the process I went through was through Zoom meeting.
Okay.
So they're using a lot of Zoom meetings now for casting calls.
Probably a lot
And-
cheaper than flying everybody out, right? Or
Do what?
you having, it's probably cheaper than flying people out,
Oh,
or
God,
you having to pay to go out and audition.
Used to, they did phone calls, just phone interviews, and so they
Really?
would hear your voice on the phone, and then you have to play the part out. But now they got the Zoom, so
Yeah.
they do it that way. When it comes to audiobooks, majority of it is you get the script, you go ahead and do the role. And I got the hiccups. You go ahead and do the role, and then you submit it, and then you wait and see if you got accepted or not. Now, a lot of times, and when I first started doing more voiceover work, I actually messed up a lot because, let's say you get like the Sixtus one, the one about the Pope that
Okay.
I'm doing now. There's multiple parts in it, and with audio, what they want you to do is just that one part. They want you to just do that one character. Don't try to elaborate on the other characters. And I didn't do that. I did all the characters.
Oh, I see.
So that was a no-no, and I had to learn that through trial and error.
Okay.
So I did I did that, and I did get the role, but I had to focus on that one character. But it all depends. There's some producers and directors who don't want to do Zoom meetings. They want to just do everything. You just do it, send it in, get it, are you done? And then they just talk about the pay and everything else associated.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
It is. Now, only problem about audiobooks is you get paid per finished line, or per finished hour, actually. It's per finished hour. So if you spent 3 hours doing something, and they drop it down to 30 minutes out of all that 3 hours, you ain't getting paid. You have to have a full hour. Yeah. So you got to go back and redo whatever you're doing. So it could take forever. And a lot of times it's only so much. Like you'll have a project that's 59,000 words. And you get paid, again, per hour. And it may not seem like a lot of money at first, but when you combine everything, it comes out to a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah.
But it's just trying to get all that done because they may not like what you do, and you got to redo it again, redo it again, redo it again.
Fair.
So you're spending hours in the studio. A lot of people don't like doing audiobooks because of that. I ain't
That
too
makes
crazy
sense.
about it myself.
I wonder if doing like doing voiceovers for films probably similar. Like if you did an animation movie, would that probably be?
That all depends too on the project.
That's fair.
What I've noticed a lot of what's up? What I notice a lot is there's something called ADR, and it's audio digital automated digital recording or audio digital recording. And you ever watch a movie and you can tell they lip synced over it?
Yeah.
Or you ever watch an anime that is an English dub, right?
Yeah.
That's ADR. So you go into the studio and you have to stand there and you have to do the script as many times as it takes for you to get it exactly right and timed with the movement of the mouth. Or anime is a little bit easier because you didn't have to be perfect with it.
Right. There's no
But-
way to get it perfect at that point.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. But but when it comes to live action, in real person, that's a whole different story.
Wow.
And then you have to, and a lot of big, huge celebrities, they still do that today. And they go back in there and have to go over their own roles because the audio didn't sound the way they wanted or whatever. And that happens a lot.
Really?
So
Have you had to do that for any of yours?
No,
which is nice.
luckily I have never had to do that before.
Really?
It was suggested I do one, and I told them, I said, go back and listen.
Go back and
Because to me it sounded good, and they went back and listened. They said, "Oh yeah, yes it does." So because I'm loud anyway,
Yeah.
so the microphone's gonna pick me up.
Yeah, that's fair.
So so there's that.
I can attest to that.
Okay,
I've never had problems picking you up on the microphone, but plenty of problems picking me up.
that's because
Just for the podcast.
You sound like a little mouse, little country mouse looking for cheese. That's
Yeah.
what you sound like.
Oh my gosh.
She sounds like a rat now because she's knocking over everything.
Oh,
I see why the computer's messed up all the time.
the actual like video of this, of people watching this episode, are gonna be like, what a hot mess today.
I don't know about this hot mess though. Ain't nobody no hot mess.
Today has been a day.
No, it has not. We ain't no hot mess here.
Yeah, we're very professional.
No, we're
Top
not.
of the line.
We is not hot mess. Now, I will say this: my Auntie Wiggs, because the movie Intent Unknown is actually available to rent on what's it called, Vimeo. There's two. There's Venmo and then there's Vimeo. Something anyway. And now it's supposed to be going to Tubi and to Prime, but she has rented it at least 15 times.
Oh.
And I said, why are you renting it that many times? Support my baby. That's the only reason I'm doing it. I don't think you're that good in it, but I just want to support
She's
you.
helping you with your hustle.
She helping my hustle, but at the same time though, she ain't got to be hurting my feelings like that, talking about wasn't that good. It takes a lot to impress her.
I think you were fantastic in that.
Oh, you saw it?
I think you and I have talked about my my review off the podcast, but I think you were fabulous in that. I think you're, to be honest,
Okay,
just blatantly
hold on,
honest.
family. Now she's about to lie.
I'm not about
So,
to lie. Nope.
Her lips are moving, so hold on. You need to turn one
I
of the
think-
cameras around on you because we need to see you moving them lips.
I think you're the reason to watch that movie. That's just me.
Okay, why is that?
I think you did the best job. You were the most realistic, genuine. Like, you can just tell the level, the caliber that you reach.
Hold on. We had Academy Award and Golden Globe actor.
Didn't hold a candle.
Eric Roberts, who is Julia Roberts' brother in this. How are you sitting there saying
Did
that
not
I
hold a-
outshadowed?
Did not hold a candle. Did not hold. And I'm not saying that because I'm your friend. I'm really not.
Okay,
did not hold a
because
candle.
friends don't do anybody justice lying to them.
I'm just saying. I would tell you.
She would.
But
too.
if somebody's gonna watch that movie, it should be to see your performance in it.
Hold on, what is this?
Chili pollo.
Cherry.
Oh, this is the one I was
Pollo.
talking about yesterday.
Hash queso base, chicken, chorizo, jalapeno, tomato, onion, and cheddar.
This
Oh
is
God, it smells delicious.
this is a test pizza that I tried once, and I only had one bite, and I said this needs to go on the menu immediately. It's so good.
Does it have artichoke hearts on it? No.
I forgot the list as he was talking. I was just looking at it
I'm
because I was
giving you
like,
the
this
first
is
piece.
delicious.
You get the first piece this time 'cause I don't want to hear her complaining no more.
I didn't complain.
So, well, I appreciate that lie. Thank you so much.
It is not a lie. It
But,
really isn't.
Well, you can't sit there and say, that I was the best in this movie when, again, there is an Academy Award and Golden Globe actor in it.
I can say what I want.
No.
And I said what I said.
No.
And I think
Eric-
you outshined him.
I don't know. There's no way. Eric Roberts was in Batman: The Dark Knight. How? You know, he's
Okay.
got like 800 and some odd movies
How
under
about
his
this?
belt.
The audience can go watch that movie and make a decision for themselves. But I will tell you that if you go read those comments
I haven't
and
read
reviews, if you read those comments and reviews on that movie,
I can't
a
read- I
lot
can't
of people say the exact same thing as me.
Oh.
And I'm entitled to my opinion. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. But or if the
No.
listener doesn't agree with me, that's fine. But
But here,
I think you are the sole reason to watch that.
okay, and I'm being serious. Thank you so much for that.
I know there's a lot of hardworking other people in it, and they did their job wonderfully as well. But you shined, in my opinion.
But are you saying that because you're my producer?
No.
Are you saying that because you're my friend?
Nope.
Are you saying that?
I will say this. Do you want the real truth? I'll tell you the real truth
I
on the
thought
podcast.
that's what you were saying.
This
Don't
is
sit there
even
and
this is even more
second-guess it.
true. This is even more true. We would have shut that movie off within the first 5 minutes if it weren't for you.
Why?
Because your performance was worth it.
Okay, you know what? My southern upbringing tells me I have to be respectful, and
That's
I
fair.
need to be, just say thank you.
Like I said, it's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. The viewers don't have to agree with me, but that is my brutally honest opinion.
It's okay, and here's the thing, family. All right, it is actually hard to hear that because I am constantly comparing myself to.
Oh, I'm sure.
Here's this. I'm gonna say it for what, third time, Academy Award and Golden Globe actor that's in the movie, and then here's Ricky. There's Eric Roberts. Here's Ricky. Okay, that's where my mentality is on that.
Yeah.
And while I appreciate, thank you so much,
It's probably hard.
it's hard to hear.
Yeah, I get it.
It really is hard to hear, and it's humbling too. I did get get scolded by the executive producer though.
For the
about-
movie?
For that movie, because we were told to market the movie, and which I'm not. On every project I've ever done, I've never had to market a movie. or
You're
market
preaching
a
to the
project.
choir here.
Huh?
Said you're preaching to the choir. You do a really good job doing this, though.
Anyway, let me finish what I'm trying to tell you because you're on my nerve.
This is why you're always mad at me every episode.
I'm always mad at. All right, so but here's the thing, everybody in the film was phenomenal. Okay, the kids that were in it, the high schoolers going off to college ones, phenomenal. The problem I have with is that I'm told, everybody was told market movie. All right, so I did, but when you have a film that especially has a calibered actor like Eric Roberts, then he's the one you focus on. And I got the executive producer mad at me because I wasn't marketing her daughter, who was in the film. And it's one of those situations where I don't regret doing the film at all. But maybe I should have marketed more of the other ones.
But from a marketing perspective, like I completely
You're a marketing
understand.
person.
Yeah, I'll tell
Okay,
you. From
tell
a
me that.
marketing perspective, if you name so and so and you don't know who that so and so is, they're just there. I don't want to say they're just there because they're parent. I'm sure that's not it. There was an audition process, whatever, went beyond. But if you don't know who they are, they're not going to grab people's attention. You know who people know?
Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts.
Nobody knows Ricky Bartlett.
They know the name Eric Robert. The people that know Ricky Bartlett are the people that are here, local, have seen you in things, follow you, but your following compared to somebody like Eric Roberts or your name in comparison to Eric Roberts
Exactly.
does not match at all, that level.
And that's
neither-
what I was thinking. I was
Yeah.
thinking, let's focus on Eric. And
That's not what could. If people are going to see that you're working with Eric Roberts is just working with you. That's where people are going to come in. They're going to see that. It's going to create a buzz. That's the marketing
that
you
was
want.
the whole marketing plan.
Absolutely.
Now, I mean, I got scolded too because it was a lot of film footage of Eric and me.
Again, no offense to those kids. I'm sure they were fabulous.
In fact, the Lucy, the actress who plays Harper in it, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
But nobody knows
she is
her.
really great. But
Yeah.
my philosophy was we got to get this film out there.
Yeah.
And Eric Roberts has that following.
Yeah.
Let's get him out there. So I was
Exactly.
constantly marketing him
Yeah.
with the film.
From a third party, non-biased, I have no skin in the game with that film. That was the right move for you.
Okay.
And I understand where she's coming from, but I think she's coming from a place of more of a mother rather than an executive producer of the film. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes those lines can get blurred because you get emotional or you're attached or there's feelings involved. But to market her would not have been as successful as if you were marketing somebody with a big name, a big family connection, a big following as Eric Roberts.
But I see where if Lucy continues
Oh yeah,
this acting career,
for sure.
she could be huge.
Yeah.
In fact, because I have so much respect for her. Number one, her ability. I don't have this ability. Her ability to memorize a script, an entire script,
That's wild.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
And she's in school, plus doing this project. She's modeling for another thing. She's supposed to be in another film that's coming up too. But point is, though, is that I regret that relationship between, the executive producer and myself had to be tarnished because of that.
That is very unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate.
Because you would think like the success of the film would be bigger, would be greater than any kind of.
You would think.
Yeah, that's
But,
unfortunate.
And it's still, I'm still putting it out there. It's still one amazing film. It's going to be on Tubi. It's going to be on Prime. And so, I look forward to more opportunities, but I can't apologize for trying to get the movie as much leeway as it's getting.
Oh, yeah.
By putting Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
Ahead of the thing.
I don't think you should have to apologize for trying to market it strategically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a really good job with that.
I'm trying to take the adult, mature path on this.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I think, part of it is there's emotion attached because that's her
Yes.
child. And I would probably be the same way. I have kids as well.
And I have seen to where I think that she is a phenomenal mom.
Yeah.
She is
That's
actually
amazing.
a really good mom. Her husband, phenomenal dad. Super dad, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But, and it's just, I completely understand that there's this way and that way and everything else. But at the bottom line is the more notable actor needs to be the one that's pushed out there. And Eric Roberts
think of any
was
movie
that.
that's done in Hollywood. They're pushing those notable actors, the ones that you know. The ones that you know.
Exactly. You gonna let the boy do that?
It's not empty.
What's he trying to do? Fill it back up?
I think he was trying to fill it up.
And you just snatched it.
Behind the scenes, my son is here working today, and he was trying to.
Hold on,
He was trying to refill.
That out of that little child's
Okay,
hand.
first off, you're really painting a horrible picture. There was no snatching. He gently tried to pull my cup, and I gently just put my hands on it and moved it back so that he. Yeah, that's the exact thing.
Oh, baby, scarred for life.
Yeah. But anyways,
She's a good mom.
back to your acting
Oh,
career.
back to me now. Okay, all
Back
right.
to your acting career.
All right.
But yeah, hopefully there'll be opportunities later on for you guys to work together. Hopefully things will get resolved. And
I do too. But the biggest thing is trying to make sure that the movie's a success financially as well.
yeah,
And one of the things with doing this kind of movie is I did not take an upfront fee. What we did was called back-end credits.
correct. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
And so, after everything's paid and said for and all that, then they start distributing money to the actors. And I mentioned this before. Tom Hanks was a prime example of why I decided to do this, because when it came to, was he in Platoon or Saving Private Ryan? Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I think it was Saving Private Ryan. You were
He
talking
decided to do back-end credits instead. And while everybody else was making, let's say $500,000, he made $40 million because he didn't take money up front.
about. Right.
He said, I'll just take whatever's left and when it gets distributed, and that was it. So I like doing that because, they had James Earl Jones they were talking about whenever he was doing Star Wars.
That would have been perfect for Star Wars and Lion King for him.
James Earl Jones got offered either back-end credits or $7,500. He took $7,500.
What?
And but $7,500 back in 1977.
A lot of money.
That's like $30,000.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money for somebody who, gets a role in the movie that nobody knows about. So that's what he did. Now, had he taken the back-end credits,
Oh, that would have been.
he already rich.
But
think about
I
the money.
wonder too, because we briefly talked about this, because I was like, does that change per movie? So if he came back the second movie, would he have a totally different offer?
would
Would
have
he be able to change his mind? So I'm wondering, did he ever change his mind? Did he ever get back into credits after that? There's so many.
That's a good question, because
We'd have to look into that.
He could have signed a deal to where he has to do all films as Darth Vader that he's contracted for, and it's just that one thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, he can also, if they didn't know they're going to film part 2 and 3 and all this other stuff, then he probably had to have a brand new contract.
Yeah.
I hope so, because that would have been some lost money right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Big time lost money.
So we talked about your audition process for the audiobook. How was your audition process for the other project that you booked?
I do a lot of self-tape.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'll be honest with you, I do better when I'm live with somebody. If I'm sitting in the room, then
To play off that emotion.
I can exactly. You
Yeah.
nailed it right there. And there's more. Which, like, for example, Chicago PD, I did live in front of somebody, landed it. Another one I did with the entity live, I landed it. However, I go through a lot of self-tape auditions, and I don't land them. And I'm learning through the process that actions are a big thing. So, like, for example, you got the camera set up right here, and instead of just coming and fading into the scene, then it's really good to have, you walk into the scene and papers putting on the table, whatever it is, and, being that animated into it.
Oh.
And that's what I'm finding that it's working. And that's how I landed my last role, or the current role now, is doing my Zoom or my self-tape like that.
Okay.
And it helps out a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm finding that casting directors are seeing that and going, we like action. We like action from the very beginning. So you may see an empty chair right there, but somebody's going to walk in and going to get right into the part.
I think it shows your abilities too. Like, acting is so much more than just saying words effectively. Like, your whole body has to convey what's going on. You have to be able to act without words in some instances, and I think that that's probably a huge thing that they're looking for.
Now
If you're able to
true.
fill the space,
Well,
acting with your body versus just,
you have to act with your soul.
yeah. I feel
I
that.
think that's really it. Depending on the type of character that you have, you have to make sure that you are in tune with that person.
Now, are
the-
you like a method actor or?
No,
Okay.
I don't do method acting.
Well, the way you were talking about soul, I was just kind of thinking, because there's a lot of people that like become that character. I know, like Jim Carrey.
Oh, no,
is
that's a whole
similar to
different.
that.
No. Now, I mean, what I like to do is whenever I have a role that's coming up, I like to, for example, in the film The Entity, and in fact, I use this as part of my demo reel, is I was able to cry, and I didn't say too much in the film, but had to use more emotion.
Yeah.
So when the creature came into view, and I'm trying to get out of the car because I'm all mad and everything else, and I happen just to look up, and all of a sudden I see this creature here, and my character was a mob boss, wasn't scared of nothing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I had to transition that anger, that mob boss mentality, slowly into fear, and then that fear is stunned, and then the fear is so great I'm frozen, and I was able to cry a single tear to do that. But with that, I had to dive into something so sad
Yeah.
or so fearful that it caused me to react that way. And so, yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. You become the character. If you really care about the role, you become the character. If you're there just to say words on a thing, I mean, you can go find another job someplace else doing that.
Right.
I used to work at a call center. We used to read off the script. There it is, like that. Hi, thank you for calling American Express. See what I mean? Well, thank you.
What are you looking at me for?
Because my eye went that way, that's why.
You should stop looking
Ain't nobody want to look at you with your big forehead.
Stop looking at me.
You brought that child to work today.
So funny.
All right. So anyway, he caused the problem today, not me. I'm about to lay hands, man. I'm about to lay hands. I like that child. He all right.
Yeah. Mad at me and my
Now I'm
child.
mad at your demon spawn. Ain't nobody looking at you with your frog head.
See you looking at me.
You know what? Come here and make yourself useful. I need something to drink. Come here. There. Diet Dr. Pepper.
What?
Diet Dr. Pepper with some more ice, please. Diet Dr. Pepper with a splash of the lemonades.
Okay, I did.
Thank you. Just making sure. What you feed him today? He got an attitude problem.
He's so sassy today. I think it's he's never seen the setup, and
Here
he
you
hasn't.
go.
He hasn't been present for one of our filmings yet. So
I hear you.
I'm looking at you again.
I can see you looking at me.
Psycho.
I think he's having a good time.
I know he did.
Both my kids are hams once you pull out a camera or something.
Yes, they are both. The other one's a handful too.
Yeah, my daughter
So,
for sure.
yeah, they both get on my nerves. But,
No,
All right.
he does well.
so what other questions did you have? Because you're in my business.
Well, of course I'm in your business. That's my whole job.
Is that what your job
Yeah. Is to ask you questions and get you to talk on this podcast.
is? Okay, all right.
We just want to know about your life and see how things are
I
going.
like filmmaking.
We just haven't had an update in a while, so I was like, we should talk about what's going on because I know you had a couple things booked.
But there again, I can't talk about too
Yeah.
much because
Well,
there's so many things
we'll be
going on.
excited to hear about it when you can talk about more.
There it is.
But it takes a long. It's a long process, right?
And here's the funny thing. When it comes to majority of auditioning for roles, once you audition for it, you usually hear back that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is
Super quick.
It's quick because
They
they
wanna
need
get
to
it
start
done.
filming.
Okay.
And if it's voiceover work, if it's this, a lot of times it is that. Like I did get a voiceover script. I haven't done it yet, but it's for someone in England, so I have to have a fake English accent. And
A fake
so
English accent.
and faking, and they're very specific on which accent. It's not like here in the United States how we have our different accents.
Yeah.
So I'm researching the accent.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So I don't know if it's going to be Cockney, if it's going to be.
I was going to say what kind,
Kensington.
but okay.
You know, it's just whatever it is they need. Because on my my agents have put me on these different sites that are specifically for actors, for casting directors to find.
Okay.
And so you have these categories like what accents can you do? I put every one because
Yeah,
I
we do.
know that I can research that and be able to imitate
Yeah.
whatever I need. All right, because
awesome.
I'm not going to miss out because of sitting there saying, "Well, no, I can't really do that."
I'll learn.
Yeah, but I'll learn.
Yeah.
There's certain things like in the skills section where I'm not an acrobat. Number one, I'm too fat. Number two, I ain't got no legs, and so.
Is that a special skill you have to have, Hasley?
Well, you need legs to really be a good acrobat. So I got a audition request today for one they're going to be filming in Argentina,
Wow.
and they specifically wanted someone who can do capoeira dancing, which is Afro-Brazilian. That's how they put it. Afro-Brazilian dance, and it's culturally, from Brazil.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't. And they want you chunky. It said plus size, plus you know how to dance. And I'm like, I can't do that.
How long in the process until you're able to start like talking about things? Typically, is it after you start filming, or is it after they wrap up?
It's when you get permission.
Oh, okay. They specifically have to.
It's
Okay.
when you get permission. But once you sign it, if you don't sign an NDA, I mean, it's all game. You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But once you sign that NDA, then you're bound by that legally and everything else. And that's why I like when they forget to send you an NDA.
Has that happened before?
That's happened before. They
Really?
don't send you an NDA, and I'm like, well, I can say what I want to say.
You know, like this can start whenever. That's
But
so funny.
it's interesting, you know, field to be in. It's highly competitive.
Oh yeah.
That's why you have to market yourself constantly. Even the podcast, Ricky's Big World. I got a message from someone in Norway
Really?
who said they saw either the second or third episode and they liked it, but they also listened to me on the radio too.
That's awesome.
And so they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna start watching it." I was like, "I appreciate that. Where you at? Norway, Iowa? No, Norway, the country." I went, "Oh, oh,
Oh.
well, thank you so much." But of course, I owe that to you, Roxanna Jana, because you out there
Marketing.
putting us up everywhere. I was shocked when every time I turn around, I find us on something new I never knew about.
You're like, there's my thing. Do you ever get a jump scare? You're like, whoa.
Do what?
Do you ever get a jump scare?
What's that?
Like you're scrolling, you see your face, and you're like, whoa.
Okay, when I saw myself on Amazon India,
Yes.
I was like,
I did get that. I did
Why?
get that message from you.
"Yeah, why am I on Amazon India?"
Yeah, you're everywhere.
So okay,
Remember that big argument where you were like,
I don't know about no
she told me I was gonna be world, and you are. You're worldwide. You're everywhere.
Okay, being fat, being worldwide is a whole different than being worldwide.
I'm holding up my end of the bargain.
Oh, is that right? And you talking about getting merchandise for people to have?
Yeah, we're starting to talk about it.
Ain't nobody want that.
Should we tell them what we're working on,
Go-
or
go
just let
ahead,
them
'cause
know?
you
And
are working
we're
on it.
There's a, I would say prop. It's almost a prop at this point that Ricky either complains about or loves. It just depends on the episode and if it's done. But it's his cup, and
Oh yeah, the cup.
we might be
with the
working
star.
on a cup for merchandising.
Ain't nobody want that.
I'm sure somebody.
Y'all don't want that. Just go
I'm
ahead.
sure
just tell them
somebody
no.
wants their own cup with a star on it, just like you require it, because you know
Hey, wait,
you're
wait.
a star.
Let's talk about required.
To be
All right.
fair, I
Hold
did
on.
ask if you wanted a marker today to do yours.
I shouldn't have to do it myself. Okay, if where is my spoilage?
You did ask my son, and my son was like, "No."
I did ask the child. I said, "You gonna draw me a star on there?" And what he say? "My stars are not that good." And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess there's that."
We could have had him put your name on there, though.
Yeah, because he did the star back there too.
He
right?
did.
Can y'all see the star right there?
Yep.
Did a great job on that star.
Yeah.
We just need a bigger.
Yeah. Don't worry. We have
off the
some
bathroom wall.
We have some plans in some wings.
I would love some chicken wings. Yeah, I want some chicken wings.
Uh-oh. Maybe we'll have to film another episode.
Hey, we ain't got to. I'm just saying. I can't
you wanna
eat?
eat?
Yeah, well, I can't eat.
You want to eat your wings in
I
peace?
mean,
That's fine.
what's wrong with me eating?
I can
I
let-
gotta
I can
be
let you
part
do
of
that.
business to eat.
I
mean,
can let you do that. It doesn't.
I
It could be a work
appreciate you.
lunch.
Thank you so. Thank you so much. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done. I saw the picture that you did with me going. What was it? This or
The
whatever.
second you did it, I was like, yes, that is the thumbnail for this.
Yes, sir.
Sauce you want on that?
Blue cheese.
Blue cheese?
On it? No, not on. I want them regular.
Plain.
Cheese?
Just plain.
Just plain.
plain.
Just plain.
I love that kid.
That's so fun.
He is awesome. All right. Well, it looks like we are out of time, man. Look at this.
We are.
I
We
didn't
had fun
realize
today.
the time went by this fast. You got birds trying to get into this pizza place just now.
It's because our food's that good.
Do what?
Our food's that good.
I didn't realize I was doing a commercial for you. So there it is. Well, look here. Until next time, this is Ricky's Big World. I'm Ricky, and we will leave the door unlocked for you. Okay? Goodbye. Bye. I don't know about the hat thing, though. I mean, you were sitting there talking about, oh, we're going to do the cup, we're going to do the hats and all that. And what we're going to do next? Draws?
Maybe.
You want some Ricky Big World draws?
Do not tempt
Big
me.
tidy whities and
I'll
stuff
put a
like
big star right on the butt.
that? It might be a stain.
Could you imagine?
Wait a minute, hold on. Is that light still on?
It's always on.
Stop it. We just got through talking about draws and stuff now.
You're the one that mentioned the stain.
It'll be coming.
Ooh, chicken wings are coming. We
Chicken
better go.
Well, I thought you pushed the button already.